Have you, some of the families that you work with, a lot of the goals, at least we work with as well, their goal is legacy, right? And then the Secure Act passed at the end of 2019. Yep. Have you had a lot of people ask you about that, the impact planning strategies, or is that kind of something that you think was more or less, I don't want to say swept under the rug because then COVID followed and this Secure Act kind of everyone forgot about, but there is a massive impact to retirees, and it's a huge, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me, I think it's a massive tax grab by the government.
I agree in both cases that it was a little bit swept under the rug, and COVID helped push it under there. It wasn't really on people's radar, but yeah, it definitely does change.
Well, it was a great Christmas present because it passed right around there, right?
Definitely changes some of the legacy planning, like you said, Keith.
Well, if you have everyone's like, oh, like I had a client in last week. They thought, oh, I'm 70, I have to take a minimum distribution out. And I said, no, you don't actually. It's now 72, and they had no idea. I said, wow, this actually worked in our favor. And I said, well, when you pass away, this is the trade-off: is your heirs. Let's say you had $1 million IRA, they could take it over their entire lifetime. So they could take little distributions each year, not a big tax impact, and so forth. Well, they gave you 2 extra years before you have to withdraw it, which means it can grow more, which means more taxes. But then when you pass away, now as part of the Secure Act, your heirs have to take all that pre-tax money out over 10 years. And if you look at the baby boomers, when a lot of them pass away based on life expectancy, their kids are probably going to be in that 55 to 60 high income earning years where they have to take now another $1 million out over 10 years of taxable income.
Right. Yeah, and then just to add to that, just to clarify too, Peter, from my understanding, the funkiest part about the Secure Act, as Derek was mentioning, but the whole 10-year thing, is that you can actually delay it for 10 years and then take it all out in one
Correct.
year if you really wanted to.
If you really wanted to.
Well, here's where
that's where for the Roth that would work.
100% for the Roth, that's where it makes sense.
Because if you pass away with a Roth, again, your heirs usually could stretch that out over their lifetime. Now they have to take it out over 10 years, where the Roth's tax-free. You might want to not touch it for 10 years. Then on 9 years, 364 days, cash that baby in and get the tax-free distribution at the highest amount.
Yeah, it is really a double whammy because, like you said, if you're passing away in your 80s, your kids are probably in their 50s, so they're in their highest tax bracket that they're probably going to be in. And now you've got this extra money that you have to take out.
Yep.
In a weird way, it would almost force retirement within 10 years, because if you knew that, then the IRA, maybe you retire 8 years into that.
And have
last
that part
2
of your income.
years, you take that as your income. There's a lot of planning that can go into that.